So I thought, since it's the Christmas season, holiday season, since I talked about some movies you can watch for Christmas, cringy Christmas films, romantic films, so many, so chucky. Aaj, let me talk about a few romance novels. Now, I chose romance as a genre because it is very common for especially women to like reading about it. If I would have chosen some other genre, maybe there might be people who might not like it. And I think sometimes during the holiday season you just want to sit back and relax and read some really fluffy romance novels.
Sit and think back on everything. I wouldn't change one single memory, but with time I found this is one I'll count.
Hello everyone, this is Calliope, and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 favorite romance novels. Now, yes, I'm not wearing makeup because I've got a lot of breakouts recently. I'm sure the hormones are going crazy. It must be the pollution. There's a lot of renovation construction going around, so it definitely, I'm sure, affects the skin. So yeah, I thought I'm just gonna give my skin a little bit of break and not just wear any makeup. I'm just wearing a kajal and lip gloss. So let's get the video started. Now, the first novel I'm going to talk about is Twilight. So Twilight is the first novel in the Twilight series. If you have watched the movies, you know that the movie is based on these novels. So I'm just saying, when you read this first novel and if you like it, you can definitely read further more novels. I did not like all the Twilight movies. I think the first and maybe the second last was good, because in between they were all really bad films. So Twilight is a vampire romance novel and it is written by Stephenie Meyer. So you all know the story if you've watched the movie. It introduces this 17-year-old teenager, Isabella, or Bella Swan. So she moves in from Phoenix, Arizona to Washington to live with her father, okay? So Bella is a little bit shy, and yeah, she has several boys like competing for her attention. Now, of course, I think during the first day of class itself, she sits besides Edward, who is definitely, you come to know later, a vampire. And initially, of course, Edward tries to stay away from her, and she really feels this intense connection with him. So there are definitely rumors about him. She's heard that, oh, this family is full of vampires and they drink animal blood. So yeah, the novel is all about what happens next, that she find out if he is a vampire, and how she tries to dig in and how they come close and stuff like that. So what's fascinating about this book is that the author, she actually got this idea from her dream which she had, where she dreamed about a human girl and a vampire who loved her but still wanted her blood. So she was inspired by this dream, and then she wrote first draft and stuff like that. So yeah, why is this book like my favorite? It's because I'm fascinated by vampires. I'm not sure if I read the book first or watched the movie first, but I was definitely fascinated with the whole idea of a vampire romancing a human girl. And I think the writer does really good justice when it comes to creating this sexual tension and the romance between these characters. Then of course there's suspense, and story development is good as well. The flow of the story is good. Definitely the character of Bella, I feel, is etched out really well. I still feel that this is more of a teenage romance novel, not really for adults, but I think that was the whole aim of this book and the movies as well. I feel that teenagers would like it more because it shows this high school drama with this girl who's little different and shy, and she's not really like everyone else. That's what you see in every, I feel, teenage romance movie. Those what are those called, chick flicks. So yeah, not really a fan of those, but I would definitely recommend this book if you want to check it out. The whole, being a little rebellious, it's like he is a forbidden fruit, and she can't resist having that fruit. And yeah. Next novel is A Walk to Remember, and the author is Nicholas Sparks. So the story is set in North Carolina, and it is a story of two teenagers who fall in love with each other despite being opposites, okay? And I don't know if you guys have watched the film, but a film was also made based on this novel. So yeah, they say that this novel was inspired by the author's sister Danielle, who actually died from cancer. So just like the character in this novel, his sister also was not really popular in school, and she always wore an ugly sweater. So the story is like about these teenagers in high school, and yeah, like I said, they are opposites. And Landon is the son of a congressman, whereas Jamie is the daughter of a church minister. And Landon is more like, a popular student, whereas Jamie is very much who keeps to herself and carries this Bible around. And it all starts with one of the school dances, like, he has to ask someone out, and he happens to ask Jamie, reluctantly actually, but he kind of enjoys that night, and he thinks that it was the best date possible. So I don't want to give away too much of the story, but you know how it is with a popular kid hanging out with this artistic girl, or very girly, very different kind of girl, not what he would usually go out on a date with. So he starts getting teased and stuff. I'm sure what will the popular guy do? Kind of try to stay away. So he tries that for some time, but he can't. And yeah, I don't want to give away too much of the story, so I will say that you should definitely read the novel, and in fact watch the film also. It's really cute. In fact, very emotional. I mean, I don't know whether it is something practical, but I don't know. Love makes you do things which are crazy, which are kind of self-sacrificing, kind of, I don't know. When you're head over heels in love with someone, I think you might do things for that person. I have no idea. I mean, it's possible. So I believe that this novel, if you've not read, will definitely touch your heart. It will make you cry. It will make you, of course, when the story develops, it is very innocent. It's definitely typical teenage romance in some ways, but as the story progresses, you will like it more. That's what I felt. Some people might find it a little melodramatic, even I did, but it's not to say that I did not cry while reading it towards the end. So yeah, maybe sometimes melodramatic, it's okay. So if you want to read something like this, you should go for this book, okay? So the next novel is Can Love Happen Twice, and it is by an Indian author named Ravinder Singh. So as you can guess by the title, he loses his first love. She dies, and how he tries to get away from this whole thing, He takes up a job in Belgium and tries to divert his mind, wants to forget about all this, tries to change his surroundings, and he definitely doesn't want to again fall in love, So but destiny, I think, has something else in store, and he meets this girl, they decide to get married, and he lands up in India, and that's where I think he comes to know things are not the same. And I think I'll stop here about the story because I feel you should read it. And do you think she comes back? Do you think that they get married? Do you think that she leaves him? I think you should read the novel to find out. I have not read the first book. I too had a love story, and this apparently is a sequel to this book. I still feel that the characters were not really completely developed. I still feel that, sometimes I feel that Indian authors don't really put a lot of the ones I have read. I'm not saying about everyone, okay? There's some, I'm sure, amazing authors, but the new age authors, they do not really take that much effort with words, while phrasing the paragraphs, while talking about the characters. That's what I feel. There has to be more effort in that. It doesn't have to be completely very simple storytelling. That's the only problem I feel I have with some of the Indian authors' books that I have read. So for people who like to read really simple stories, you should go for it. And it's a love story. It's something which maybe I would say it was kind of relatable. Some of the things was very much I could see a little bit of my first relationship, how things were a little bit, not completely, of course, because this is from the man's point of view. So it is definitely different. If you ask from my point of view, maybe if I start writing something, it will be definitely different. So yeah, maybe it might be relatable to some of you, for people in India. So read it and find out. Okay, next novel is Too Damn Famous by Joan Collins. So the story is about this actor who's very famous and powerful, but her personal life is not that great. She's newly divorced. She has a son who keeps basically threatening to go off rails, and she promises herself and to the public that she's never going to marry again. Her lifestyle is great. She has these maids and cook and chauffeur, but she's actually inside lonely. Then of course she has these backbiting fellow actors. I'm sure she finds she can't really trust anyone around her, and I think for a single woman or people who are divorced, or I think normally also, women are constantly, their lives are constantly scrutinized, whether you are married or whether you are divorced or single. They constantly, our lives are always scrutinized. ये ऐसा क्यों कर रही है, वैसा क्यों कर रही है? Especially for, I'm sure, people in the media, actors and all. You see such horrible comments about them, even on social media and stuff. People never talk really good about them, and that's really sad because inside they are just like us. So the story is definitely, I feel, relatable because any woman can relate to it, famous or not famous, and at the end I think we all require is for a man to love the real us. Whether she's an actor or she is a famous person or a normal, everyday 9-to-5 job karne wali aurat, at the end we all just want someone who just loves us for who we are. That's what we want. It's as simple as that. I'm sure there are women who want to just marry for money, who want to have sugar daddies, but most of us, we just want someone who loves us truly and honestly. There's definitely a little bit of suspense, I feel, a little bit of mystery and romance, and I really liked it. I feel the characters were really written well, the story flow was great, and I loved her character as well. So this is, I think, one of my favorite romance novels. So the next novel is Dance While You Can by Susan Lewis. And if you're like Priyanka and Niyanka, what is their that couple name ya jo bhi hai. Anyway, you know, if you like a story of this older woman and young guy, you should read this book. So yeah, the story actually starts with just a prank, and this kid, 17-year-old kid of Lord Chief Justice, he actually has an affair with a junior matron in the school, and of course their passionate affair is short-lived. Now, of course, he decides to, you know, what young boys do when they want to act rebellious. They just decide to act like a heartbreaker and act reckless, and that's what he does. And a chance meeting, you can say, happens between these two characters again. And what happens next, for that you have to read the novel. Okay, I do feel that it has a slightly Mills and Boons vibe. I don't know if this book was adapted into a film. I think it can actually make for a really good romance novel. Of course, not really perfect for today's times, but of course it can be set in the olden times, maybe. Then it might make sense. So I would definitely recommend this book because it has a little bit of suspense. It is a light read. It is not like the best romance novels, but it was definitely engaging. I could not put the book down. And yeah, I think the whole idea of older woman and younger man definitely fascinates me, and I like the whole elite and Garib, rich and Garib love stories, which have been done to death in our movies also. So yeah, so that's it guys. These were my top 5 favorite romance novels. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below and let me know what are your top 5 romance novels if you read them. And please share this video with your friends, and please subscribe if you're liking my channel, my videos. Thank you to all my subscribers, and if you like my videos, please ask your family and friends to subscribe as well. If you want to check out my last video, it's somewhere here. Until next time, it's goodbye from me. Take care.
But with time I found this is one I'll count. When you walked away from me, far as I can tell, you both been